If you suffer from pelvic pain, then we can tell you you are definitely not alone. Most women develop pelvic pain during their pregnancy, and while for some of those women this may only just mean some mild discomfort in their pelvis, for others it can be quite painful, affecting many different areas in and around the pelvis, which is often called pelvic girdle pain or symphysis pubis dysfunction.
Right. So in this video, we are first going to briefly explain what pelvic girdle pain and symphysis pubis dysfunction are, and then afterwards, we are going to show you the 7 best exercises that can help you relieve your pelvic pain.
Yes, this is Nathalie, a pregnancy and birth consultant and TCM therapist.
And that's Mathias, a researcher and Science Geek.
And we love helping mummies and their babies naturally and science-based. So let us help you with pelvic pain. Alright, so first of all, the pelvic girdle is basically that ring of bones around your body at the base of your spine. Most pelvic pain during pregnancy is actually focused on either the front and or the back of the pelvis. And very often it can affect the pubis symphysis, which is that little thing here at the front, which holds these two bones together. Because of that, this condition is often called symphysis pubis dysfunction, which can be caused by hormonal changes during pregnancy.
Right. So when you're pregnant, the body releases lots of hormones to accommodate the baby. And one of these hormones is called relaxin. Relaxin softens ligaments and increases the mobility of your joints.
Yeah.
However, when there is too much mobility in your joints, then this can lead to instability, particularly when the pelvis joints start to move unevenly. And this can cause the pain in your pelvis.
That's right. However, the reality is that many women experience pelvic girdle pain also in other areas. In particular, pelvic girdle pain may also affect your lower back, your inner thighs, and the sides of your pelvis. And just a side note, the pain could also only just affect one side of the pelvis only instead of both sides, right?
Right. And another thing, pelvic girdle pain often gets worse during a particular movement. For example, when you roll over in bed or when you try to get in and out of a car, when you walk on uneven surfaces or when you walk long distances, getting dressed or standing on one leg, etc. And so the key to relieve pelvic girdle pain or pelvic pain in general is a combination of 2 things. First, some changes in your lifestyle.
Yes, nothing fancy though, just general rules like, for example, when you stand up from a sitting position, tighten your abdominal and pelvic floor muscles while standing up because this will take away the pressure from your pelvis.
Right.
But this is really just one example of many useful changes in your lifestyle which could help you with your pelvic pain. In fact, on our website, we have summarized the most important lifestyle changes which experts propose for pregnant women who suffer from pelvic pain.
Right.
Link can be found in the description below this video. So that's changes in your lifestyle.
Yes. And then second, you need to strengthen the muscles in and around your pelvis to create more stability and to take away the pressure from your pelvis. This is what our exercises are here for, which we are going to show you now.
Yes, just a final note though before we start. As always, please ask your doctor if it is okay to do these exercises. Not every woman is allowed to do them. It very much depends on your particular pregnancy case. So very important, you need the approval of your doctor first before you can do these exercises.
Right.
Okay?
And also if you feel any pain or if you feel dizzy or numb doing any of these exercises, please stop them immediately and ask your doctor for advice before you continue, okay?
Yes. And just a final general rule which applies to all exercises that we're about to show you. It's really important that you keep breathing during the exercises, okay? Never hold your breath.
Right.
Keep breathing. Now with that said, if you have a birthing ball, then we recommend starting with our drawing circles exercise. This is our first exercise, but don't worry if you don't have a birthing ball, just skip the first exercise. It's the only exercise in our video that requires a birthing ball. And the reason why we like to start with it is because it's not only a great way to help stabilize the whole area around your pelvis and to get more flexibility into your pelvis, it's also a nice way to warm up the muscles around and in your pelvis before we continue with other exercises.
Yes, so first of all, please make sure that you sit on the birthing ball with your knees bent at a 90 degrees angle, back straight and both feet planted on the ground. Moreover, keep your legs in an open position to give your baby a bit more room and to make it easier for you to keep your balance. And then all you have to do is draw nice circles with your hips in a clockwise direction. However, please make sure that you start with small circles only, because at the beginning it may cause some discomfort when you suffer from pelvic pain. And then over time, once it no longer feels uncomfortable, you can also make bigger circles. Try to do 10 rounds and then try another 10 rounds, but this time go into the opposite direction.
Okay, the next exercise is stretching your inner thighs. This exercise will bring more flexibility into your inner thighs because your inner thigh muscles often get tight during pregnancy, which can cause part of your pelvic pain.
Right.
Now, in another one of our videos, we show you how to stretch your inner thighs with the help of the butterfly stretch. However, sitting cross-legged is something that you should actually avoid when you suffer from pelvic pain. So instead, we do the following.
Yes, so first of all, sit on the edge of either a bed or a chair and then walk your feet apart as far as you comfortably can. And then while you keep your legs relaxed, use your hands on the inside of your knees to push your knees gently apart. You should now feel a nice stretch in your inner thighs and it should not feel painful. Hold the position for about 10 seconds or even longer if you can and repeat the exercise 3 times in a row.
Great. The next exercise is called cat-cow pose. And if you now say, oh, please guys, not that pose again, then we actually consider this a big compliment because it means that you also watch other videos from our channel, right? But the reality is the cat-cow pose is just one of the most amazing exercises that you can possibly do during your pregnancy.
Right.
If you are allowed to do exercises, of course, right? And it should be part of your exercise program to relieve pelvic pain because it brings so much more flexibility into your body. In particular, your pelvis, your thighs and your hips. But it also helps strengthen your abdominal and pelvic muscles. So let's do this.
Yes, so for this exercise, you need to kneel on the floor with your knees hip distance apart. Also, make sure that your knees are directly underneath your hips. Your hands are about shoulder distance apart and they are supposed to be directly underneath your shoulders. Once you are in that position, inhale and lower your belly. And while you do that, elevate both your head and your shoulders. This is the cow's pose. Hold the position for a second and then exhale while you elevate your back and lower your head and your shoulders. This is the cat pose. And then while you breathe in, go back into the cow pose by elevating your head and shoulders and by lowering your belly. Repeat both poses 6 to 10 times in a row.
Okay, the next exercise are pelvic floor exercises. Pelvic floor exercises are a great way to strengthen your pelvic floor muscles. And this is very beneficial if you suffer from pelvic pain because it gives you more stability in your pelvis.
Right. Now, since you're already kneeling, you can just remain in that position. Alternatively, you can also lie on your bed in a semi-sitting position or you sit on the toilet, whatever you prefer. But if you remain in the kneeling position, then try to keep your back flat, okay? And then just squeeze your pelvic floor muscles. In other words, pretend that you try to hold in P. Hold the tension for about 5 seconds and then release. Repeat the exercise 6 to 10 times.
Okay, the next exercise is called lower tummy exercise. And the idea of this exercise is to strengthen your lower abdominal muscles to again create more stability and to take away pressure from your pelvis. And it's actually quite simple.
Yes. So first of all, stand up and place your hands on your lower abdominal muscles. Next, form a heart with your hands with your belly button in the middle. And then tighten your muscle in that area by drawing the tummy away from your hands. Try to hold the contraction for about 10 seconds and repeat the exercise 10 times in a row.
Right. The next exercise is called squeezing the ball. Earlier, we have stretched the muscles of your inner thighs, but now we also want to strengthen them.
Yes. So first of all, sit on a chair with your back straight while keeping your feet flat on the floor. Also make sure that your feet are placed directly underneath your knees. Then place a ball between your knees. And then just try to squeeze the ball by bringing your knees closer together. Hold the tension for about 3 to 4 seconds and then release. Repeat the exercise 10 times.
Yes, and by the way, it does not need to be a ball. It could also be something else, like for example, a cushion or a Pilates ring. Also, if your belly is already very big, just use a bigger ball or cushion. It's the tension in your inner thighs that matters, and it's not supposed to be painful at all. And then the last exercise are side planks. However, we do them a bit differently to make them safe for a pregnancy, right? That said, this exercise is extremely effective to strengthen and stabilize your core. And because of that, this is one of the best exercises to help with pelvic pain, if your doctor gives you the approval, of course.
Right. So what you need to do is lie on your side on a yoga mat and prop yourself up on your forearm. Your knees are bent and your lower legs lie on top of each other. Next, elevate your hips. And while you do that, it is important that your core is engaged and that you squeeze your glutes. Try to hold the tension for about 15 to 20 seconds and then switch sides.
Okay, so with these exercises, you strengthen your core, your abdominal muscles, your pelvic floor muscles, your glute muscles, and the muscles of your inner thighs. Yeah. And on top of that, you also bring more flexibility into those muscles, as well as into your hips. And so over time, the stronger your muscles get, the less pelvic pain you should experience, right? It requires a bit of patience though, but you can absolutely get there. And then finally, please don't forget to have a look at our website, where we explain the tiny little changes to your lifestyle that experts propose if you suffer from pelvic pain. Link can be found in the description below this video.
Yes, and as always, we really hope that you have found this video helpful. If you have, we would be super grateful if you could leave us a like or even a comment in the comment section below.
Yes, and for more useful tips and tools on pregnancy and baby-related topics, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell.